Getting into some DC news, this is quite a bit coming from Jame Gunn, who did the, is an excerpt from the Rolling Stones article. It was in Variety. Quite revealing, really. And most of it I agree with, especially the whole movie industry dying part. How that's kind of been a headline for a while. He thinks it's not because people don't want to see the films, but they're being made without scripts now, basically. I mean, we've seen that and heard about that, reshoots for a lot of these Marvel films in particular. And that's what he said. Marvel got killed by output increase. And he said it wasn't fair. The Disney Plus launch kind of just screwed the pooch on everything. Because, we came off of Endgame.
Yeah.
It was like, here we go. And it just was like, ever since then, it's just kind of been iffy,
I remember that when they did their, I think it was D23, where they outlined like the next 5 years of content.
Right.
And there's so much crap on there that we never got.
Right.
Like every C, D, and E list character in Marvel had their own streaming.
Yep. And
series.
Eternals, that was what it's called, right? Eternals.
Yeah.
The only time they've mentioned that since then was the new Captain America movie, and that still wasn't really.
No, that's where they get the what was it?
Adamantium.
Yeah. Yep.
Big hands sticking out and stuff. But it's odd they haven't really explored that, because they were going to do another Eternals for sure. But that's, that reason alone is why Gunn himself, with the DC studio he's headlining pretty much, they just killed a project. And I think it was Sergeant Rock. I don't know if you know the character too well.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the character? Just could you give us
It's like a
military guy,
basically like a military superhero kind of thing. I don't know.
Interesting character to you? Or?
Jonah would probably know more about it than me. I was just kind of like, why?
Kind of cool name, but they, I guess they offered the role to Daniel Craig. That hit headlines, and then I think Colin Farrell and some other people. But in the end, the script just wasn't there, and he just pulled the plug. He said, people wanted to make it. It was greenlit, but just can't do a movie without a screenplay, a good screenplay. So he's very cautious. And what's nice is he doesn't have any corporate mandate from Warner Brothers, of how many things he's got to make or all that for movies and films or TV. I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah. He said, his goal is just put out the highest quality.
Yeah.
And he said, it won't all be perfect. You got to learn from your mistakes and what works, what doesn't. But a complete screenplay is a must. And he said right now, Batman is his biggest issue. He's not writing it, but he's working with a writer. He will not be campy, he said, his Batman.
Good.
And it's got to be made for a better reason than just having another Batman film. It's got to have a good point to be made. Batman 2 is still happening. It's not canceled, obviously. They're still waiting on a script from Matt Reeves. Now, there's been some discussion that Matt Reeves' personal life, something's going down. Maybe that's why there's a delay, but I don't know if he's not, he's ill or whatever. Hopefully not. But his process is usually pretty slow.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get it right, and Gunn's letting him take as much time as he wants. So he just says everyone putting it out there that he's trying to cancel the project. It's just ridiculous.
If it's a good movie and it doesn't matter to me if they take 5-6 years,
right?
As long as it's good.
Yeah.
Well, to your point though, we started out year 2 or something like that, or year 1 of Batman.
Yeah, I think it was year 2.
So basically, the amount of years that it takes to make the movie, you could say, is progressed as far. And
it might help the story. Because you don't have to go back and he's gonna. He's had more experience since then. Their top priority right now is just finish scripts for Batman and Wonder Woman. And yes, Wonder Woman is going to be rebooted. Makes sense. I mean, I guess you could bring Gal Gadot, but I think
I've heard some good names drop though.
Anna de Armas.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard
a little short, but they could make it work.
She'd make a good Wonder Woman.
She's great. I mean, she kicked ass in
Ballerina. I've heard
that's
heard great
good.
those about that.
Not seen that. That's on my list too. So many films.
James Bond.
I think that's what got her Ballerina was just that one scene she had. Pretty much kicked ass, and she wasn't like the usual Bond girl either. Was refreshing about it, because I think he was like, "Do we kiss now?" or something. She's like, "No."
Alexandria Daddario is another name that I've heard being tossed around.
Yeah.
Where's
she
she
would be
from?
good.
She looks like the iconic Wonder Woman in the
Okay.
comics. I mean, she's been in a lot of things. She was in that kind of campy Baywatch movie with Dwayne The Rock.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
I might know what you're talking about. Okay.
She was like the what's his name? Zac Efron's kind of love interest in that movie.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But she's
Okay.
been in a lot of things.
Sure.
That have been
Sure.
really good.
Oh, she was also in White Lotus season 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Another show I got to check out. Well, yeah. So maybe she might be cheaper than Anna. I don't know. Anna.
Well.
Excuse me. Mrs. Cruz.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing is with Gal Gadot, like
Yeah.
her Gal Gadot, however you say it.
Yep.
She was a decent Wonder Woman, but I don't think she can act for shit.
Yeah. They made it work for her skill set, I think. And I mean, she did have some scenes. I mean, 84 is a mess, but
84 was a mess, but the original Wonder Woman,
yeah.
it was good, but it was basically just Captain America.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Like,
Thankfully, it wasn't in World War II. It was
Yeah, it was
refreshing to have it in the
World
first
War I, but
World
still,
War.
it was
Yeah.
Captain
When she
America.
walks away from Steve in the second one, 84, whatever, I thought that was a good scene she did. It wasn't dialogue; it was all expression. But yeah, I get it. You probably want someone who's a little.
you kind of
stronger
need
at
somebody
acting.
who can have a commanding performance because the Amazons are like,
Well, and Anna played Marilyn Monroe in that one movie.
that
She
was
great.
I would never watch that movie again.
Oh, same.
But
Same. It's
it was a
brutal.
great.
But
movie.
it's not like bad, but it's just horrific what she went through. If this is all true and
yeah.
such, but but she's a great actress. I thought she pulled it off. I mean,
Yeah.
she's come a long way since Blade Runner. What was it 2049? Was that the
The only
second
person
Blade
to
Runner?
take down Keanu Reeves.
What's
Yep.
that?
Remember, she was in Knock Knock.
Oh, I never saw that one, but they reunited for Ballerina.
You've never seen that one?
I've heard some dialogue from it. It's terrible.
Oh my
You
god.
came in, you
it's-
sucked my dick.
Yeah, it's-
da-da-da.
It's
Like,
campy, but
this is a movie, okay?
it's
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. They're sharing the screen again on something better.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But
it's something.
yeah. So coming up for the DC Studios, obviously Superman.
Yep.
Little film there. Peacemaker drops August, so that's cool. Supergirl, which will be next year. I think they just wrapped principal photography on that.
Oh, did they already?
And the
Wow.
title did change. It was, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's now just Supergirl. So it's just
Good.
like, if you recall, Superman was originally Superman Legacy. So they
Yeah.
just chopped
Yeah.
off which made sense because Christopher Reeve film was just the movie. It wasn't Superman by himself.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But yeah, and you got Lanterns, which should be really cool on
Yeah.
HBO.
That's gonna be neat. I can't wait to see that.
HBO Max, which is it's changing its name again. So good on you.
I love how they've cycled through. It was HBO, then
Oh gosh,
then it was HBO Now, and
Yeah.
then it was Max.
I get confused by
Plus.
Max because it's like they merged with Cinemax, but that's not the case, right?
No.
Like,
No.
It's just like HBO Max, right? Like
Yeah.
here's all our shit,
Yeah.
Take it, yeah.
It's a funny timeline of why, and then they needed to plop HBO back in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Biggest headlines it usually gets, it's like, ooh, they changed their screen from blue to black. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really change the
Wow.
content. but
What?
yeah.
I actually think they were more user friendly when they first launched versus now. I don't like all the way it's set up right now. But
Yeah.
that aside, I'll still check out Lanterns. Looks great, and Clayface is just got its star. Tom Ray's Harry's, who is in Uma Thurman's series right now, Suspicion, and he also was in The Gentleman. So we talked about Clayface many shows back. So yeah, we got a star, and I
Perfect.
guess I thought it was maybe an Elseworlds. I'm not sure still, actually. So because Gunn did say
Yeah.
there will be an Elseworlds movie,
Yeah.
movies or TV too. But yeah, we're getting close. I just hope I hope it's good, man. It's gonna be
Thing
weird
is,
for it
if-
to be on its own, but I mean, you probably could stretch that out to its own film. Like if you took the
Well, his backstory's interesting.
like the animated
Yeah.
series, yeah. If you took that, like you could stretch that into a movie for
but
sure.
you're gonna have to have Batman in it.
That's gonna be the problem. Like if you'd have to like take that show and
Yeah.
take him out and then see what you got, I guess. But
Yeah.
Because you can't just have a madman going on the run.
right, yeah. I know. And pulling off the effects, that'll be something
that was always the coolest part in the animated series about Clayface, is that he would just kind of morph into, and then when he got into the water, he just dissipated.
He always came back, though.
Always came back, yeah.
I remember there was a darker series or storyline when it was after the animated series when they changed it to like Batman and Robin or Batman and Superman Adventures. It was a little darker tone.
Yeah.
And there was like this kid that the young Robin, I forgot which Robin we were on at that time, but he met like this kid. I don't know if you recall this.
That was like the Tim Drake Robin.
It was a girl. Yeah, it was a girl. And he like, they had like a kind of like a, they were into each other, but it turned out she was like part of Clayface. And in the end, I think she had to merge back to him. Like she developed her own persona, and it was so brutal, like heartbreaking. Like that was a good story. Like,
it was.
But yeah, that iconic first time I saw the animated series Clayface, Batman's inside him.
Yeah.
He's trying to, his head comes out. And
trying to push his head out of him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
his head back in. Yeah.
And I think they even captured that on like one of those detailed figurines you can buy.
Oh, no kidding.
I think so. But it's just brutal when he like shot his
it was like grappling hook,
like
went
right out of his head or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a hell of a story.
That whole series was just really well done, though, because it followed from episode to episode, and it wasn't like a new problem every time.
Yeah.
And the thing that always made me sad was when it ended. But then, years later, I found out that they didn't really get canceled. They
kept changing it. Like it.
Well, they ran out of stories.
Well, that too.
It wasn't like it was getting canceled by Fox or anything. It's just they ran out of stories.
Which is why they probably did Batman Beyond.
Right.
It was refreshing, and I still think that's a good series.
Well,
I didn't
kind of morphed into
the
the Phantom Mask, and then the Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, Justice League helped kind of give you an older Terry McGinnis, and they kind of really spoilers, but they made old Bruce like Terry's actual father.
Yeah,
which I thought was really stupid, but.
Yeah, I didn't think they had to.
They just wanted to connect everything. You got to be careful when you do that because all the intrigue's gone. It's like
you remember the episode where Adam West made an appearance?
Gray Ghost.
Yes.
Yep. Gray Ghost.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was so cool.
That was nice about that series. It gave opportunities, and had great voice actors. Mark Hamill, I think he got even more work after his Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't imagine him being that voice. I didn't know for the longest time, and I was just. I mean, he beat out Tim Curry. Tim Curry originally had the Joker part, and they liked because Curry was trying to be Nicholson, basically.
Oh,
that was his problem.
Yeah, he was trying to make him like a gangster type.
Yeah,
and they wanted Joker to be this over the top,
right,
kind
more
of character.
campy,
right?
Yeah,
but yeah, I think a Clayface movie could be pretty interesting. We'll see, but yeah, it's gonna be weird, Batman not being in it, but you could totally explore the whole. The acting lifestyle.
Yeah, because he got
disfigured.
He got disfigured, and then he had a cream that he put on his face, and then
how are they going to handle that? Like, will it be a cream, or will it be like stupid Catwoman? When I think Sharon Stone's character had like you injected yourself with some kind of shit and kind of played around with
turned her into like marble.
Yeah,
basically.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.